Hello, everyone, and welcome to Life Clarifications with Natasha. And I'm grateful you're here. And, I know that I've been serious the last couple of shows, and I apologize because I don't always want to be so serious. Yet at the same time, though, we all go through something. We're all going through something. And me being a medium, intuitive person, very intuitive, actually. Many people lately have been saying that, wow, you just know so much. How do you work through so much? How do you process through so much? How much do you navigate through things? And I just say, well, like I was in a conversation with a friend today, and I was so grateful that I had this conversation. And I was talking about how I work through things outside of me and inside of me at the same time. And people go, how do you do that? Well, right now we're in a new moon. We're in a new moon, new opportunities, anytime a new moon comes around, there's new opportunities. And, this new opportunity that we're in right now is so huge. And I want people to know that it's huge. This new thinking that we can do, this new opportunities we can do. And I know that I was so serious the last couple shows, or the last two shows that I did, because of me going through some of my old patterns and waking them up so that I could work through them. And one of those old patterns is grieving my mom and dad passing. Well, as anniversaries come by and we do life and it doesn't even have to be an anniversary of, let's say, a loved one. It could be an anniversary of, let's say, uh, a death of a job. It could be an anniversary of the death of a friendship. It could be the anniversary of just the same things happening at the same times in our lives that can throw us into that melancholiness. Well, yes, and that's okay to be there, but I didn't want to be there today because I don't want you to think that this show is always going to be serious, because of the fact that we all do life, we're all going through something serious, and yet at the same time it's our perception that changes that seriousness. And I can tell you, the day or two after my last show on Thursday, when I was celebrating the anniversary of my mom passing and kind of going into that melancholy, usually that pops me back out. I allow myself to go through those emotions. And that's the thing that a lot of us don't do, is we don't allow ourselves to go through those emotions. And as we go through those emotions and go through those things, many times we can come out the other side. And I did. And like, I had a coworker who watches my show. I have a lot of people in my daily job that I do a shorter time now, so I can do more clients. That I She says, if anybody's got the tools to navigate what you're going through, it's me. And I'm grateful for that acknowledgement that she had and she saw in me, because that's why I do what I do for you on this show or in personal sessions. Because when I do this show, it's general. When I do a personal session with you, it's more personal. And how can I help you through your story that you're working through, your personal dance? Now, my personal dance is, grief and the stories of my dyslexia. There's the stories of being shy to not being shy. There's the stories of, you know, unearthing who I am in this lifetime, coming home to who I am. Now, life happens and then we do it. I hope, because I want people to know that, if you're contemplating leaving this world, you have no idea what could be around that next corner. And I want you to be inspired to see what it is. And I know a lot of us are going through much turmoil. Now, this turmoil is self inflicted sometimes, and sometimes it's planetary inflicted. Like we've just had in the last week. Well, okay, so we're in Mercury going into retrograde. We've also had Pluto come back into direct, which means that planets don't necessarily start turning backwards. It's their energy that puts us through. And Pluto, it being an outer planet, it has us navigating through some outer things in our lives. The things that show us outside of us to work on the inside of us. And going direct means that, okay, what we learned while it was in retrograde, we can apply while it's going forward. Well, this new moon at the same time everything else is happening, because we had a full moon when Mercury went into retrograde. Now we have a new moon kind of towards the middle end of it. And then we're going to have a full moon when it goes direct again. So with that, so full moons are about endings. What are we done with? What are we going to be done with? And yet, every ending has an opportunity for new beginnings. So for us who are seeing the numbers 9/11, now I see 9/11 a lot. I also see 7/11, which is actually my birthday. 7/11, 9/11. So 9/11 to me, a lot of people think 911. Emergency. Oh no. Well, actually it could be emergency, but that emergency, that ending, nines are about endings. 11 is the magical prayer opportunity. It's that your direct connection with the universe. Okay, so your thoughts are your prayers. Okay. So 11/11. So 9/11 endings with magical new beginnings. That's my perspective. That's my perspective. And when I checked in, when I had a friend who was all in the angst of 9/11, seeing those numbers, and was starting to get into the worry of the angst of what 9/11 meant for her, I checked in with my team. What does 9/11 really mean? And the idea came to me: endings with magical new beginnings. Perspective. So that's what I wanted to talk about today, is the chance for us to have opportunity for new beginnings in our life. But it takes us, thyself, thy moment, to go into that perspective of, what can I have for new? What can I have for new? And Veronica, I am so grateful you're watching today. Thank you for being my supporter and me supporting you in a weekly basis. And I know we do private sessions together, and I'm so grateful that you trust me. Anytime somebody sits with me, I am so grateful that they trusted me with their soul, trusted me with their being. And as I sat with somebody new just recently, and he sat down, and I kind of went through my little moment of, because he didn't know me, so I kind of went through my little spiel of who I am, and I said to him that everything we say here is here. The only thing that comes out is what you say. And he says, I know. I'm grateful that I can have that kind of integrity, because that's the way I help people. And I want everyone to know that this new opportunity for beginning who we are, it takes us as individuals to start the process. Now, another conversation I've had lately has been how me doing the feng shui, that change your environment, change your life. A lot of us are going through job endings or reshifting, or should I do this or should I do that? And I don't know if I should do this or should do that. And I know that personal decisions that I'm making are triggering old patterns in me. And I'm saying I'm done with that. And, how do I apply that to my daily walk as I get triggered again? I'm human. So how do I practice? By practicing. And how do I support you? By my practicing and observing. And my world is huge around me. So I have a lot to observe. No judgments. So as we're in this process of working, living in, navigating through, you know, side note here, not to squirrel off, but if anybody watches The Voice, that Kelly Clarkson uses the word navigate a lot. And my husband looked at me and he goes, and you too. But it's like life to me is about navigation, you know, and there's so many of us going through these small, skinny, metaphorical channels, like how a boat goes through these little, like in between this island and that island. Well, we go through these channels of life. We go through these small moments in our life where we have a hard time knowing which way to go. And if we take and help we know and we have an understanding that we have guides and angels, loved ones who are sitting at either sides of our boat. Okay, and I'm lost for those words, the helm and, the front and the back of the boat, the sides of the boat. That if we go through and trust that we do have support, that many of us who are going through these decision-making moments, these moments of life shifting us, falling away to create new, it's like a ship going through a very skinny island. And somebody has to be looking down because, it's like they say the iceberg is bigger underneath the water than on top. So you have these places where the ship can only go through certain places. Well, sometimes that's us. And as we're going through those places, life gets a little scary and a little sketchy and a little bit angst. And we have all these emotions that are building up and we fall into old patterns. And so that's why I use the word navigate. Because as we navigate through our life, we navigate through those small, skinny channels as a boat, metaphorical us, through these spots in our life, and we navigate and we keep our ship uprighted, not necessarily perfectly righted, because there's no right or wrong. It's just righted. And we start moving through it. We trust the process of it and we navigate through that process. It is like a ship navigating. We're ships navigating this big ocean of the world. And many of us are going through these very skinny moments of, if we make the wrong step, what's going to happen? And there's this one show on TV. Was it Innocent Joe or something like that? And it's on a little bit later, so some people who go to bed early don't see it. And it's about making, if you make this decision, this will happen. If you make that decision, that will happen. If you make this other decision, this other thing can happen. What is right and what is wrong? All we can do when we're making decisions is trust at the moment we're making them, that we're making the better decision we can. And I know future self will say, you shouldn't have done that. Future self might say, why did you make that decision? Future self might say, holy crap, you did a great job. But we won't know until we're in the future. So if we start that process right here with us, knowing that any opportunity is here to walk forward. Now, we can walk forward in the same job, but how do we walk through the doors? We can walk forward in the same car, but how do we sit differently as we drive? We can walk forward in our life being in the same home, but how do we negotiate with our home differently to create a different pattern? Now, I'm going to use the example of, backwards here. There. Okay. So I have this corner and in feng shui, it is my relationship corner. Now, it's not my personal relationship corner with my husband, 'cause that's up in my bedroom, but it's a relationship corner. So I have a relationship corner with about love, partnership, with the angels, with the fairies, with feng shui or Mother Earth. And then down below is my pictures, my scrapbooks. Okay, so that's my relationship corner. I have a relationship with every single one of them. Okay, but there's something going on because I have Christmas lights that keep going out. I have to change my lights at least 3 or 4 or 5 times a year. Christmas lights should last a little bit longer than that, you would think. But they don't. So there's something that I personally am burning through with my relationships, good or bad, to move forward where I'm at. Now, does that mean that when I'm burning my relationship, I know for me that my friends are not feeling like I'm asking them for a lot. Okay. I don't do that. I may give them something and then ask them for something in return. It's a this or a that. Oh, and Veronica, I'm so sorry I didn't get back to you. Oh, it just clicked on me. I've been having going through a lot lately, and so I apologize. I will maybe we can connect after the show. That as we squirreled, sorry, that as we go through life and manage life, that going through something new, going through an ending, that there's going to be these metaphorical things that happen that will show us that maybe we need to look at a different perspective. Because I can tell you, change your world, change your perspective. We're all going through something personal right now. I know for many of us that this doorway of the souls walking out has been hitting a lot of people, and it's not been fun. I've had some personal, close people who have been touched by this grief, and my love goes to you. And there's been other scenarios that have been happening. But as we work through our relationships with ourselves, now the lights went out on the top one. So that's a relationship with myself too. That as we go through life and manage life, we're always going to have an ending. What does that ending want to lead us to? What does that ending want to lead us to? Change your perspective, change your life. Oh, that ending. Okay. Like the one that sat in front of me lately, who was grieving by honestly the loss that this person felt. Yet at the same time, though, now he's got a spirit soul that's on the other side helping him a little bit more often. Perspective. Ouch. It hurts to lose someone in human form. Yet, spirit form could be just as inspiring once we navigate through the physical loss. Okay. Now, I'm going to say that that's true for anything. Job, friends, cars. If we lose a car that we loved, or just anything and everything. Yet, if we sit there with the perspective, life can be negotiated with a little bit different story. Now, I, tag me, have a theme in my life where I have a lot of 9/11s. Endings with magical new beginnings. I don't like endings. Nobody should. Yet my perspective says to me, where's this going to take me? Now, So my physical moment that I hear something's happening, you might hear a couple swear words out of me. You might see me stomp on the floor a couple times. Ah, why is this happening to me? Where are you going to take me? And I try in my physical being to say those like that. I've practiced enough. Like I said, I have a lot of 9 and 11s. 9 endings, new beginnings. I don't know how many have I had this. I've actually had this one ending at my job, and I actually chose it for a change. Imagine that. I actually chose it. Life happens with us and for us. And I'm going to repeat that again. Life happens for us so that we can be greater than ourselves. And it's always going to be there for us, even if we don't want it to be, even if we don't want to do that ending. Life is still going to be there for us. Like I have another person who is asking them to do a job that they have no concept of doing. And yet, like I told her as we passed in the hallway, I know there's a part of you that knows what to do. And I can see you doing it. She went, oh, I hope so. And I said, I know you can. You just got a learning curve to do it. Perspective. Now, when I'm going through the change personally, do I always have a great perspective? Yeah, not really. Yet at the same time, though, I've practiced enough times. Why is this happening to me? Where are you going to take me? Where are you going to take me? And sometimes I'm just as angry at where are you going to take me as I am about the ending, because I try to keep it in the same sentence. Life hurts. It's going to hurt. It's going to be a little bit, rocky. It's going to be a little achy. It's going to be shaky. Yet, believe anything is possible. The magic can happen. The magic can happen. And I can tell you the times that I sat there through an ending. Things happened for me. Now, I'm going to tell you that I've gone through things where it's taken me a little bit of uncovering to navigate through this. There's that word again. Because I had to take a deep dive in look. Why is this a pattern that keeps happening to me? Ooh, there's a tricky word. A pattern of the same ending happening. Well, many times when we have a pattern that keeps happening to us, we have something in the contract of our life. We have something in our personal belief system. We have something that is cloaked that we can't personally see. Get help. Get help to see those uncloakings. Now, did I see my own uncloaking? No. I had to get different perspectives. And then through those different perspectives, different helping moments, I became uncloaked in my own knowing. Because I saw myself and then I applied it to what I was going to do. We never know what life can give us unless we're willing to walk forward through the where are you going to take me with endings. Now, this new moon is about new beginnings. So if you're done with something, be willing to receive it. Be willing to receive it. And as we walk forward, being willing to receive what life is willing to give us, it's not always, ice cream and chocolate candies. No. But yet it can be something that will lead us to the next step in our lives. We never know what that is. So, Veronica, you said here, let me get this clicked on here. With this new moon, I would like help with following through with any mantras, prayers, I should say. Okay, Veronica. So, knowing you personally and us doing some work together, I'm not going to go into the depths of the stories, okay? Because I don't want to put air all out there. I am done. Here's one for you. Uh, just just following through. Yes. So with this new moon, and this would be good for everyone. I am done with the self-doubt of who I am. I am receiving and worthy of knowing that I am as beautiful as anybody else. I am done with the self doubt and I'm receiving the beauty and the image of who I truly am. Another one that we can work on in this scenario of I'm done being the victim of my life. I'm receiving the gift of knowing that I'm worthy for greatness. I'm done being the victim of my life, and I am receiving the worthiness of being the greater that I am. See, there's different ways of saying it. Do you notice that the words are positive? So, with that, as we're going through life, many of us have these ticker tape of negative words that go across the bottom of the screen of our mind. The only way that I have found that I can negotiate with this, now maybe somebody else might have a different story or different way, is that whatever my mind is saying, I have to disrupt it. And what I choose to disrupt it with is something more positive. So let's say me and my dyslexicness, and I'm writing my newsletter and I'm finding lack of inspiration because it's really interesting for me to write words. Luckily, technology has come around and I can navigate through, there's that word again, navigate through my brain a little bit differently because I can speak it out loud. And then I can read it and fix it. So, with that, me saying, oh, another writing episode. So I start getting into that old story. I can, I can, I can, I can, I can. I can, I can, I can. I can, I can, I can. So did you just hear how I disrupted my mind? Because it was starting to go into that old story. Having a situation with someone I know. Started repeating the patterns of our old. Okay, why am I such doing this? Why am I love, I love, I love, I love, I love. I love, I love, I love, I love. I love, I love, I love. I love, I love, I love. I love. I love. Did you see how I stopped the pattern? Because I triggered my mind into saying something different. I have no energy. I am tired. I'm inspired. I'm inspired. I'm inspired. I'm inspired. I'm inspired. I'm inspired. I am inspired. I am inspired. Boy, look at that. I am inspired. Wow, I'm inspired. Did you just feel my energy shift? Okay. So, with that, if anything you start new in this new moon, is that whatever your mind is falling into, life sucks, life sucks, life sucks, life sucks. I have magic. 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 Oh, did you know I have magic? Wisdom comes, momentum comes, life comes when we're willing to change our perspective. Not always foolproof. sometimes we're in scenarios that we just have to just live with. But I can tell you, change something, change your world. You know, just like if my home was a little bit different, that I had a partner who did things a little differently, I would have to even if my floor was full of something, even if I changed the picture that I get out of bed and look at it in the morning, that's something I could probably control. That we can maybe change the way we feel during the day. Change our perspective, change our world. New moon, new ideas, new opportunities. What do we want in our life? I am creating magic in my life. Many of us have really these stories that are going on, and we just cannot trust the process of them. Well, I know for me that as I'm going through life and managing life, that, nothing is foolproof. Like last year um, when I was going through, my schedule changed every 3 weeks. Every 3 weeks, something changed in my schedule at my day job. You know, it got to the point where it was like, oh, well, I can tell you that me who works through change, I thought pretty well. It kind of triggered my old things of, I don't want change. I was just getting my momentum. I was just able to get my momentum. What ends up happening is something that we have sometimes no control over. Yet at the same time, how we interact with it makes the difference. And if anybody can give, I would love to hear perspectives on what somebody's going through right now and how I can help them. So, some of you who are watching now that don't usually speak up because I'm here to help you through your change, your moment. If you would like a few minute reading on how to navigate through it, yeah, there's that word again. I would love to do that with you and for you. Life is happening around us. We're coming in the Northwest here, or we're coming into the fall time, the fall equinox, right? That fall shift into to going inward. Our days are getting shorter. Um, we're working on what can we do next. The weather's getting more ickier and that kind of thing. Well, down in the southern hemisphere, they're going into spring summer. Opposites. Just because we're going into winter, does that mean that we have to shut down? No, no. Change your environment, change your world. This is a great time. Sometimes we don't have energy. Change one thing. Even if you pick up one box that we don't never need. Now, like for me, there's this one jar that I had to put away real quickly. I was going to put it away. Well, it's still where I had it, but yet I'm going to pick it up on my way through, bring it into the kitchen and wash it and put it in the cupboard where it belongs instead of in the closet. I changed one thing. That one thing will change my environment, which changes my world. Yeah, it might be a small bowl, but that environment, because my mind knows that I did something. So that means that there's movement in my mind, which means there's movement in my life. And I can tell you this closet is in the middle of walking into this room. So one side is a room, the other side's a closet. Both of them kind of have a little bit of the same scenario. So there's something about the vortex in that area of my house, which as I clean that up slowly, yes, some days are slowly, it's one or two things. As I do that, those one or two things, by the end of 2 weeks, can be 4 or 5 things, which equals my changing of my environment. Change my life. Love is with you through these moments, and I know that many of us are tapping into grief. Tapping into that grief. And I can tell you, looking on back on my story of my grief path, it's been very interactive. Very interactive. And through that interaction, grief is really, because I was willing to walk with it, gave me a strong opportunity to become who I am. Strong to be who I am because it made me vulnerable enough to look at who I am so that I can become stronger. Life happens and then we do it. Take care of yourself as you're walking through grief. Even if it's with a body part that doesn't work the same way, that can trigger a huge grief process because we're not the same people we used to be. Life is going on, even though we may not have the energy to do it or the prospect to do it. Add light into your life. As darkness is coming forth, add light. Light a candle regularly. We have these ring lights, that a lot of people put around when they're doing videos or add a ring light into your house. It's amazing how this light is light. Do something that brings inspiration into your life so that you can move forward. Because many of us are changing jobs that we've had or have not had, but we're looking for jobs. And there's something out there. And I can tell you, sometimes walking through one door leads us to another door. We just got to be willing to walk forward and see where that one could take us. Life isn't a straight line, no matter how much we want it to be. It's never a straight line. So if we go through the prospect of, it sucks, where are you going to take me? Practice moving forward. Application. And trust that there's a part of you that knows what to do. So if you're putting in an application for a job, see what you truly do. Many of us are greater than what we think we are. Greater than what we think we are. Many of us have many tools that we don't even think we have. Now, does that mean that we've practiced them? No, but I can tell you that as we walk through the doors, we have greater opportunity to practice. Just like there was some, now I'm at my day job less hours so that I'm able to do this intuitive work a lot more. I'm grateful. Oh, it's my blessing. I'm finally living my dream. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. That there were some new students that came in, and it was amazing because I told them, I said, guess what? Today's your first day. Tomorrow will be your second day. You'll be able to make friends, and your second day will be easier. So you'll be okay your first day. Because it's always hardest the first time. But after that, it's a lot easier. Kind of like getting our new phones. Oh, we don't like getting the new phones, do we? But then we get used to it. And then do we want to change out of those phones when we want to get a new one? No, because we got used to the new one. Living life is not a straight line. Yet, at the same time, perspective can make it more graceful. So if you're going through change, which the universe is making us change in many different ways, even in our own personalities, we're shifting up, deciding, is it really worth being that type of person? Trust the process of who you are and know that you are safe doing this. You have new guides. Many of us have new guides that are helping us through these moments. So trust the inspiration that comes to you because life is about doing what we can. Be at peace with yourself. You know, going in through a new endeavor is never easy, and yet there is that part of us that at least knows how to do so. Let's say if you're going into a new office and you don't know their platform of who they are. If you're, let's say, you're the new desk person in the office, and you just don't know what to do. But I have an understanding that some of us have those organizing skills, or there's people who have people skills, or there's somebody who has typing skills. So with that go to your strength, fall upon that, and then go, what am I supposed to learn here? Because I know once I learn it, it's another skill of mine. Great perspective. I do hope this show has been helpful to you as life clarifications, because sometimes we just need a little clarification. And I can tell you that if you're looking for some emotional support, I love to do that. I love to help someone work through their life stories to become a little bit lighter. So, with this, now, since when I do cards, it ends up being a little bit longer than just a few minutes. So does anybody want, I'm finding I'm kind of liking these cards. It's the map cards with Colette Baron Reed, and they've got different cards here. So can somebody type in, would you like the map cards, the fairy cards? These are the oracle cards. I'm just going to call them the oracle cards, and it's the ones with the path. Or the angel cards. Or would you like an animal card? Would you like an animal card? Can somebody put in, I can pull from more than one deck. So anybody have any inspiration? Sorry about that. I was putting things on my card and clicked on that. So I'm feeling some things, but I just want to, I like the new cards. The first one you showed. Okay, I'll do that one. And if anybody else wants to chime in too, I would be grateful for anybody else. Okay, so that would be the map cards. Okay, now I have not tuned in with these cards as of yet, and I'm getting closer to doing that. Oops, flip them over. So when I'm picking out cards, and this is the thing that a lot of people are getting drawn to, some spiritual techniques. So when we're picking out cards, first I'm going to clear them because I did a personal reading with myself. So I'm going to clear the cards and ask them to put in the intention for the greater good for all. What can they hear? What do we as a group of people need to hear at this moment to move forward in life? Okay, so I'm going to shuffle. And this is a bigger deck, so it takes me a little bit longer to shuffle. And this is that little part about trust. Okay, you're going to shuffle. Now, I shuffle usually until I get a card that sticks, or there's a card that kind of says, me, 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 or something, or I get pulled to something. Now, I'm feeling like I'm getting to the end because I'm kind of feeling this like antsiness in me that's coming forth. Okay, so I kind of heard the word stop, and then my eyes went to a card. Metamorphosis. Metamorphosis. Isn't that a glorious card? Look at that. This is the first card this is the first time I've ever had this card. Metamorphosis. So it's two penguin or flamingos. Thank you. Flamingos, butterflies, birds, flowers, sky. Metamorphosis. Okay, so I will read about metamorphosis. 25. Metamorphosis. Okay, please excuse me if I do a flubble here. Metamorphosis. You are in a process of deep and beautiful change. I love the universe, how they sync up with what I've been talking about. Upright. Okay. Butterflies earn their wings through the great effort. The process of change is often painful. For never without loss. Sorry, I'm going to start all over because I'm reading choppily. Okay. Butterflies earn their wings through great effort. The process of change is often painful, for it is never without loss and sacrifice. If you are transformed from one form to another, a part of you needs to die. Letting go isn't easy, especially when you're used to thinking a certain way about life and how you live it. Just as a snake sheds its dead skin, or a caterpillar dies so it can become a butterfly, you're required to release your old ideas and embrace necessarily change so you can live your best life. Perhaps you're being asked to let go of low self-worth, a dream that no longer serves you, a relationship that is draining, or an unhealthy habit. Despite your fear, you must accept that this is transformable time for you. There will be some loss involved, but you love what will come. But you'll love what you become. Pretty magical, huh? And as I was talking, oh, why is this happening to me? Where are you going to take me? That is the whole aspect of the butterfly. The, the, the caterpillar trusting the process of the call to climb up into a point where they can hang, and they build the cocoon around them, the chrysalis around them, right? And then through that process inside there, they die basically, and become this new thing with wings. And it's a butterfly. Now, are all butterflies beautiful? Some butterflies look like moths. But if you really truly look at them, they are very beautiful. Very beautiful. Because they're magic in how they become what they were. But did they do the process of trust? Yes. Did they? Did they, and they talk about how a skin or a snake shedding its skin, does it trust its process of not being able to see for a little while it's shedding its skin? Yes, it may go in and go into a secure place that it feels, because it can only see really barely in front of itself, and it's on the ground, so its perspective is pretty low. So they go in and they trust the process. We're all going through much change. If it's emotional, physical, spiritual, and the physical, I'm talking about diets, our food. Some of us are getting to where we can't eat gluten anymore, or wheat. Some of us it's about corn. Some of us it's about allergens, like for me with my nut or peanut butter, or, you can't drink wine anymore to release the energies of where you're at. We're all going through some change somewhere, but I can tell you, going through where, oh my gosh, my diet, it got down pretty thin. There was always something to start new. Did I do it myself? No, I went to a naturopath and she triggered some ideas in me. I can try that. I didn't think about that. For one, I'm not a foodie, so I didn't think about trying things, because food to me is about the source of energy, the proteins, the vitamins. Trusting the process will give you the strength of moving forward. Okay, so there's another card calling. Which deck is it? It's not that one anymore. There's one more calling here. Is it the animals? I think it's the animals here. Okay. So I'm going to ask the same question. Who in this animal world can help us through this metamorphosis of where we're at? Who can help us through this metamorphosis of where we're at? Okay, I'm hearing top card. Raven. Oh, Raven. Raven. Crows, ravens. 16. You know what I'm feeling like? I know that, that when Raven comes to me, I intuitively tap into who a raven is. Ravens or crows are some of the smartest birds out there. They don't always know what they have to do, but they sit back and they contemplate and they observe. They try, didn't work. Look at it again. Try, didn't work. Look at it again. Try. Ah, I see the key that I didn't do. So ravens, it's about moving forward through what we're doing. Okay, so number 16. I'm going to read this. I'm getting called to read. Getting called to read today. I guess I'm working through those processes of that it's time for me to work through my dyslexia, isn't it? So through time, Raven has carried the medicine of magic. So magic is in our world. We just got to believe it. Raven magic is powerful. That can give you the courage to enter the darkness of the void. The blackbird, meaning darkness, which is home of all yet not formed. Ooh, that's powerful. Raven magic is powerful medicine that can give you the courage to enter the darkness of the void, which is home of the not seen yet. So the future is not seen yet, is it? But yet there can be magic in it. If Raven appears in your spread, you are about to experience change in consciousness. This may involve walking inside the great mystery on another path at the edge of time. It would be pertinent. It's a portent, a signal brought by the raven and its ways. You have earned the right to see and experience a little more of life's magic. Raven's color is the color of void, the black hole in space that holds all the energy of the creative source. So in native teachings, the color black means many things, but it does not mean evil. Black can mean the seeking of the answer, the void, the road to the spiritual, non-physical. The blue-black of Raven contains the iridescence that speaks to the magic of darkness. The changeability of form, the shape of bringing an awakening in the process. Pretty magical, isn't it? So when you're thinking about Raven, think about how can you use your smarts while navigating through your life? How can you think about, that didn't work very well. How can I change my perspective and see a new way? So Raven is the messenger that carries all energy flows of magic between the ceremony itself and the intended destination. So with that, trusting the process. Remember, this magic moment came from the void of darkness and the challenge to bring into the light. In doing so, you can have the honor of magician within. So if you're willing to go through the unknown, create the magic within. Because I can tell you, the void of the darkness, if we really look back in life, It's been with us many times over. And if we look back in our own personal life, we've survived it. Some of us pretty darn well, better than we ever thought we would, at least. Trust the process a little bit more. Damn it, why did you fucking have to end now? Where are you going to take me? When I say where are you going to take me, it's the magic. It's the magic of the unknown that can give me the opportunity to live life. I want to bless you with blessings today at the end of this moment with us together this week. That as we're walking through life and as we're navigating through life, and yes, I'm saying that word and I mean it with all the love I can. And as we're going into the unknown and we're having these endings and we're in grief about body parts not working the same and having to move homes or moving this or doing that, that I'm asking for blessings of grace and ease for you. I'm asking for love and light to be with you. I'm asking for the angels of grace and inspiration to be with you, because love is always going to be around you, even if you don't feel it. So light a candle, hug a cat, your dog, your loved one that you're with that's two-legged, and feel love, because you are love. They are love, even if they don't believe it or you don't. Trust the process. I'm asking you to trust the process a little bit more, because life wants to bring you somewhere, and there's a reason. Even if it's just getting those tools and a little bit stronger muscle, metaphorically, to get there. We are all going through something emotional. And if you need some support, if you're I'm here for you. I'm here for you. Just go to my website, angelicclarifications.com. You can schedule an appointment. Or you can text me or email me at natasha@angelicclarifications.com. There is another way to reach me, but I'm not going to say it here. But you can go to my website and find ways. Blessings to you on your journey. Find inspiration, because love is with you, even if you don't believe it at this minute in time. I'm Natasha Venter, intuitive medium personal awareness coach. Blessings to you.